Yamuna Tira, Vanachari, Yamuna Tira, Vanachari, Yamuna Tira, Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, 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 Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Shri Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Shri Radhe, Jaya Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari Shri Radhe, Jaya Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari Shri Radhe, Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribo, Nitai Gaura, Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribo. Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai, Gantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Go Premanandi, Haribo. So, reading from Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita. So this title is enchanted. This chapter is entitled "A Lot of Ground to Be Covered." No, Prabhupada replied, we can never use force. Well, what about in making life members? Force we cannot use, Prabhupada repeated. But we can trick them. He told a story about a boy who didn't want to do arithmetic. As soon as the teacher wrote 1 + 1 on the board, the boy would balk. So the teacher drew a picture of a cow on one board and asked the boy, if a man has one cow and then he buys another cow, how many cows will he have? The boy answered, 2. Thus the teacher began teaching him arithmetic, even though he was unwilling to learn. So people may be averse to serving Krishna, Prabhupada explained, but we can trick them and get them to serve without their knowing it. But we can never use force. These people are all businessmen. They are always calculating profit and loss, but they are also pious and they want to go to Krishna. So you have to convince them that by giving this money, they will gain so much by coming closer to Krishna. And that is the truth. When they are convinced, they will give. Prabhupada had ordered from Jaipur 2 sets of large white marble deities, paid for by a donation from R.D. Birla. One set was to be installed in the Bombay temple, and the other worshipped at the Pandal, and later sent to one of the temples in the west. But the devotees were anxious that the deities be finished and shipped on time, and there were other sources of anxiety right up until the very day of the festival. Pandal construction, prasadam distribution, seating arrangements, sound systems, whether these things would be ready on time, and whether there would be enough money remain uncertain. But under Prabhupada's direction, the devotees worked steadily with firm faith in Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today We are reading from Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 14, entitled The Forest of Material Enjoyment. Text number 3. This is prose. Atacha yatra kutumbika darapatyadayo namna karmana vrikashigala eva nichatopi kadarasya kutumbina uranakavat sangrakshamanam mishatopi haranti. Word for word. Ata, in this way. Cha, also. Yatra, in which. Kutumbika, the family members. Dara apatya adaya, beginning with the wife and children. Namna, by name only. Karmana, by their behavior. Vrikashrigala, tigers and jackals. Eva, certainly. Anichata, of one who does not desire to spend his wealth. Api, certainly. Kadaryasya, being too miserly. Kutumbina, who is surrounded by family members. Uranakavat, like a lamb. Sangurakshamanam, although protected. Mishuta, of one who is observing. Api, even. Haranti, they forcibly take away. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. My dear King, family members in this material world go under the names of wife and children, but actually they behave like tigers and jackals. A herdsman tries to protect his sheep to the best of his ability, but the tigers and foxes take them away by force. Similarly, although a miserly man wants to guard his money very carefully, his family members take away all his assets forcibly, even though he is very vigilant. Purport. One Hindi poet has sung, Din ka dakini, rat ka bhagini, palak palak rahu truse. During the daytime, the wife is compared to a witch, and at night she is compared to a tigress. Her only business is sucking blood of her husband, both day and night. During the day, there are household expenditures, and the money is earned by the husband at the cost of his blood is taken away. At night, due to sex pleasure, the husband discharges blood in the form of semen. In this way, he is bled by his wife both day and night. Yet he is so crazy that he very carefully maintains her. Similarly, the children are also like tigers, jackals, and foxes. As tigers, jackals, and foxes take away lambs, despite the herdsman's vigilant protection, children take away the father's money, although the father supervises the money himself. Thus, family members may be called wives and children, but actually, they are plunderers. Om Agyanatimarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karochi Pachalam Pangun Lagati Garim Yakripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, I think in future I'm going to read the verse and purport first before I commit to giving class. Anyhow, so Srila Prabhupada explains that Krishna Katha means hearing the glories of spirit and the miseries of matter. And Srimad Bhagavatam is does not beat around the bush. Srimad Bhagavatam, it removes the veil of illusion covering our eyes and gives us the vision to be able to see material existence for what it is. So this chapter, I think it's important to us to uh, keep on reminding ourselves that this chapter is the forest of material enjoyment, is entitled The Forest of Material Enjoyment. Yes, this is materialistic life. And it is explaining the situation of those who are deep in illusion. So, so I can say for myself, I remember many years ago when I was a kid, that I was constantly harassing my father for money, you know, and and for sure he he was a miser. I mean, he was willing to spend his money for the pleasure of his family members, uh, for like a big, a big like celebration or some special occasion like that. But as far as like everyday life goes, it was pretty tight on his money. And I used to know how to manipulate him in such a way that he would give his money like this. And there were so many things I was also always asking for. When I was 13, I was harassing him for him to buy me a motorbike. That's what I wanted, one of those scramblers. So, yeah, and he caved in, although he was very reluctant to. Yeah, he ended up purchasing me that motorbike. So, yes, I can say for firsthand experience that the children are very expert at getting money out of the father, no matter how diligent he is in trying to protect his money. Hmm. So it should be noted that this is the situation of those in material life. And grihastas who follow the rules and regulations of the grihasta ashram, this is not applicable to. Of course, the grihasta ashram is Krishna's system for one to become purified of material existence. So there is a small, a fraction, of the experience of what we're hearing today, because the goal of the Grihastha ashram is to get the realization that actually material existence is miserable. There's actually no happiness in this material world. That is actually the success of the Grihastha ashram, because it is with that realization and maturity that one, and when one gets that realization and renunciation is instilled within the heart, then one can progress to the Vanaprastha ashram. So it is lust, which is the very cause of this material existence. Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita in the 3rd chapter, Kama esha krodha esha rajaguna samubhava mahashano mahapatma vidinam ihavairinam. That it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born when in contact with the material mode of passion, and which is later turned into wrath, which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. It is the sinful enemy because actually it makes the living entity look like a fool. Specifically, look like a fool in Krishna's eyes. Because the living entity is eternal, permanently existing, full of knowledge, and always ecstatic and bliss. So when Krishna sees this eternal living entity that is full of knowledge and always blissful, experiencing, because of lust, experiencing a temporary existence which is covered with ignorance and which is miserable. And the living entity is experiencing this by his own will, by his own free will. Yes, for sure. This looks like a very foolish situation in Krishna's eyes. So therefore, Krishna has set up this system, the Daivi Varnashram, where the conditioned souls in material existence can become purified by the way that they can realize their eternal existence as a spiritual being different from this body, that they can reawaken their original knowledge. Srila Prabhupada explains that real knowledge means to understand what is spirit, what is matter, and the origin of both. So, yes, to reawaken our original knowledge and also to reawaken our original constitutional position, or realize our original constitutional position as Jivera Swarupohaya Krishnara Nityadas, that we are Krishna's eternal servants. And this 5th canto specifically deals with uprooting this anartha of attachment to material existence. In the beginning of the 5th canto, we have the teachings of Rishabdev, where he explains in great detail, that one is, if one uses their senses for sense gratification instead of using them for attaining the highest spiritual bliss, one is just compared to eating stool like the hogs and dogs. He explains that pumsastriyam mitini bhav metam ato grihaksit tayomito hridaya grantimahu Atogrihakshetru sutapte vitara janasya mohoya mahammameti. The attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. On the basis of this misconception which ties together the hearts of the male and female, one becomes attracted to this body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life's illusions and thinks in terms of I and mine. Now we're listening to the teachings of Jada Bharat to Maharaj Rahugana about the forest of material enjoyment, the great illusion of this material world. And later on in the 5th canto, we'll hear about the hellish planets. That the results of what happens from engaging in sinful activity. So this 5th canto gives a thorough dose, of understanding the futility of trying to enjoy in this material world. And in that way, it is its purpose is to uproot this anartha. By the time we're finished the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, one is supposed to be God realized. That means that these anarthas have to be removed from the heart. And this is what Srimad Bhagavatam is for. That's why it's so important. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, as Bhagavatam itself says in the 1st canto, that every single day, this Nityam, eternally, every single day one should hear Srimad Bhagavatam. That way there will be constant purification of the heart. So, so it is very important that we understand the context of today's verse and purport, that it is dealing with material existence, and we should not we should understand that for one who is absorbed in material existence, one is being cheated. One is being cheated of their rightful position as an eternal servant of Krishna. So I'll stop there and ask if there's any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna Babu, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice class, and pointing out the essence of this verse, and which is that family members in a family life, the members of the family usually try to extort the head of the family in whatever way they can, and so he is forced to he's put himself in a situation, and he doesn't escape from it, in other words. But there, at the same time, this family life is a very important feature of 4 ashram, because they maintain other ashramas.
Yes.
And so one has to act very diligently, understand, because at the same time, it gives an opportunity also to purify himself and to understand the real goal of life. And as you have told, the spirit soul is eternally a servant of the Lord. One who understands that, he can utilize that opportunity for the service of the Lord. And knowing that importance, that this is an opportunity to purify oneself, and in this way he can prepare himself for going back to Godhead by utilizing the opportunity. And one of the great opportunity of that is to to incline to associate, I mean, as an eternal servant of the Lord, to engage in the service of the Lord, as you have told, Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, verse 18, that Nasto Prayasho Bhadrishu Nityam Bhagavata Shevaya. So whatever impurity or uh, we have got, we can purify if we read Bhagavatam, and Bhagavatam has two Bhagavats, I mean, book Bhagavat and the person Bhagavat who has taken the life as given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And if we hear from them, we can purify ourselves. It is a great opportunity for us to utilize this way, this life, which is otherwise full of dangers. But if we know our goal, then we can go in that direction if we are aware of that. So thank you for that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions, comments? Okay, so maybe we'll stop there. Thank you kindly for your attention. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Chaitanya Thakur Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol.
His grace come Babo Prabhu ki
Jai.
jai, Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
jai. Vancha kalpatarubhasya
Kripa
kripasindhubhya
sindhubhya
eva
eva च पतितानां
patithanam pavanebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो
vaishnavebhyo
नमो नमः
anantokoti
अनंत कोटि
vaishnava
वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
Jai.
all for to assemble devotees. Hare Krishna.